Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second Wondercast episode. I am your host, Soaring. Tonight we'll be discussing the curious pony in piercing the heavens, known as Twister. And our cast tonight, and returning, is Animak,
Howdy, everyone.
CowgirlVK,
Howdy.
Dragon Eye,
Hello.
Silver Skies,
Hello.
Penumbra Glow 0290,
Hello.
and our resident renegade and Twister expert, who will probably be doing most of the talking tonight, Jim Hoxworth.
Hello, everybody.
All right, Jim, you probably have a lot more to say and a lot more interesting ways to say about Twister than I do. So I mean, this is your rodeo show, man. This is your time to shine.
God.
You go for it. No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure. Oh, God.
Well, I mean, let's dive right into the fluff of the crazy pone himself. The just him got brain. Let's start with the bathroom poetry part.
How about
Alright.
how about his intro into the story first? Like how he.
Oh yeah.
Like
Well,
he's
he's surprised.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly, back when I was reading the story for the first time, that particular scene creeped me the heck out. That was
I
found
honestly thought that like when I read that, I honestly thought that maybe Com might be taking the story into like a rated M type thing. Or maybe this is his way of testing out. Like maybe if he could do like dark stories or something, because like it's like he might do something like off like another side story with this character.
I wish I could tell you. I think he's got a few screw loose Thunderlane side. How so? Dash was curious. Did Thunderlane have a worse luck than her? Well, I grabbed the top bunk and got comfortable. When he showed up after putting his stuff away, all he did was Kilroy stare at me, creepily over the edge of my bed. It was awkward as hell. Thunderlane leaned to look around bulk. Oh God, there he is. He pointed. Dash leaned over as well. Thunderlane pointed towards a neon green stallion with a blue mane that looked like to have a mind of its own. It was sticking in all directions and had more split ends than a splintered wooden board. His cutie mark was a tornado, with trees flying out of it. His eyes were opened wide constantly, and his mouth was always curled into a disturbing smirk. All I got out of him was his name is Twister. After that, he just eyeballed me like he wanted a spoon or something. Thunderlane quickly ducked behind Bulk so his odd bunkmate wouldn't see him. He looks like a clown put through a wood chipper, Dash joked while snickering.
all right.
I'm done.
Jesus.
And that's chapter 9. So we've had Twister, at least 90.
120 chapters.
Yeah. 120 chapters. That's spooky.
See, I imagine him just like peeking over like the bunk bed, just really just at night. That'd be horrifying to see.
The Kilroy bear is like his hooves are over the edge, and so would his nose be. Like that's about it. Like,
But that'd still be creepy, just having that look at you.
Oh yeah.
Like the clown mask?
Aye.
To just be disturbing.
There is no doubt that
Alright, I just
Twister
tested
at
on.
first was he was creepy.
Yeah, no.
That is an understatement.
Yeah.
That is very much
What?
an understatement.
And I'm
surprised.
Comwin is channeling his inner randomness with Twister.
Well, anyways. So, actually, funny thing, in my own work, I actually had Twister cameo, so I asked Calm, so how do I write Twister? What steps do I take? And basically what he said is this. In his outlines, when he wants Twister to do something, he'll just put down Twister does something, or just like Twister. And then at the moment when he is writing, he will come up with something that doesn't completely derail the scene, but is absolutely and completely and totally random.
That makes a lot of
Nice.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, your boots having a mind of their own were quite nice.
Yeah.
So, what did you have Twister mistakenly call the guard again? Like which wrong
Oh.
name did he use?
Yeah, that's not really relevant to the discussion this evening, but
True, but like,
yeah.
never, like, if I can look that up later.
We can,
But,
yeah, we can come back to it later, like maybe towards
Like-
the end.
But yeah, anyhow, there seems to be one exception to this, and that would be 5 particular scenes, starting with chapter 42, that seem to follow a very specific
Pattern.
line of thought with a very specific purpose.
Indeed.
The
And
semi-hostage
these are
monologue.
the biggest hints on Twister's backstory that we've got so far, and possibly going to get this story.
Exactly.
Unless Calm throws in another monologue.
I
we are
actually
again.
have a feeling in mind. Although that would include Twister tying someone up. What if he does it to Nightshade?
Oh God, I think Nightshade would be
Don't put
excited.
Ted's fan fiction into this.
All right, okay,
All right.
let's get back
So,
on topic.
anyways, in chapter 42, Twister, through a poem, describes a mare that he knew in his past, someone that truly understood him, someone that,
He could trust.
someone he could trust, someone that he loved with every fiber of his being.
Okay.
And he hints in that poem that story did not end happily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, when you read it, yeah, you're thinking, they're coming to take me away. Haha, they're coming to take me away to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And they're coming to take me away.
Kind of brings up a thing. Is there like? Well, yeah, I'm getting off topic. I'll bring it back up in the theories.
All right,
Uh,
can we read the poem?
all right,
Jim, take it away.
go Jim.
Okay. Alone was I with Rainbow Dash, a spooky mare who's quite rash. I watch as she tries to squirm and thrash, and it makes me feel quite crazy. Oh, Dash, I just wish to tell you a story. Truly, there is no reason to worry. I promise that it's not cloth or gory, but it does make me feel crazy. When I see you, I'm reminded of a mare whose beauty was beyond compare. I couldn't help but always stare. She drove me absolutely crazy. Oh, with many colors her mane did glow, and her soft fur 'twas white as snow. I loved her more than you could know. Alas, she thought I was crazy. She had ways to keep me from getting near. Did she despise me? I would always fear. But things aren't always as they appear. In fact, they can be quite crazy. Soon I learned it was all ruse. My confusion to her, it did amuse. Oh, this mare, I simply could not lose. She enjoyed that I was crazy. But to my dismay, nothing became of us. Both so very busy. It would be quite a fuss. Then one day she was gone. Many words I did cuss. Yes, I went a little more crazy. Another man like her I shall never come across. If we never meet again, I will be at quite a loss. I pray for the day that our paths again cross. And I hope she still likes that I'm crazy. So that is my story. How it fills me with glee. Thanks for listening, Dash, to a certain degree. Now I must get back. Sleep well, bonne nuit. I hope you don't think I'm too crazy.
Now that that's over,
Twister.
now that that's done, can we I just want to get this out of the way. We need to get Jim to voice the Joker in something.
Yeah, no. Now that
That
Mark.
would be perfect.
Yeah, now that Mark.
You fight so serious.
Now that Mark Hamill is like retiring
How about
from the role, like Jim could just be the new Joker, like anything
Yeah.
future Batman related.
Do the
At
do the
least
line.
Thursday.
Why so serious?
Why so
Oh my goodness.
serious?
Oh my god!
Why aren't you laughing?
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Now that
Uh,
beautiful
yes,
thing.
To
So-
Rainbow Dash is like he has Rainbow Dash like partially tied up, or at least her mouth is tied up.
Well, she can't escape.
Yeah, and I mean, she really doesn't have any other choice but to listen to his crazy ramblings and like kind of hope either he stops or someone comes in.
And that,
Rescues her.
typically what he does, and like typically with these scenes, he does like a kind of crazy Pinkie Pie stuff, in which
Yeah.
he will like abduct her, like or like she'll randomly find herself in a situation.
Oh,
Like,
Mm-hmm.
prior to this one, what she was doing.
She went into the bathroom to do something, so she woke up in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Wasn't
Yeah,
that
bathroom.
wasn't
think
that
she was
because Soarin was training with his magic and then he kind of had an incident, or am I thinking of?
Yeah, I
yes,
think that
there
was it.
There was a nightmare there.
Oh,
and
okay.
that
Went to wipe her face, I think.
Yeah, went to like
Yeah.
go splash
So-
cold water on her face.
and honestly, that was the first hints that we actually got that there was more to the connection between Dash and Soarin. But that's
That's a podcast for another day.
Yeah,
yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, to recap here, there are a few important points to take away from this sequence. One-
But lost is one, I think, right?
Yeah, one is the big one is the description of the mare that he fell in love with.
I have- Yeah, out of Calm's friends, I have found one OC that would match the description. Although I'm not sure if it's joking or not. Neither one of them. Her name is Prism, and she is white with red, blue, yellow, and then colors in through. And she's a detective.
Let's just
That
Well,
let's wait until we get to the lover part, and then we can dive right into everything and all that.
rabbit hole.
Yeah, theories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's be a fair chunk of the podcast. Just
Yeah,
love it.
let's, because the theories is where Jim's just gonna go on full crazy conspiracy mode, and I bet he's dying to get there.
Absolutely.
All right, well,
Do we need
Jim and
tinfoil
I
hats
have,
for this? Like, I feel like we're all not very well equipped. I feel like we all need tinfoil hats.
I have tinfoil downstairs.
Well, anyway, so the inspiration for that scene actually comes from Courage the Cowardly Dog, Freaky Fred, if anyone's ever seen that episode.
I'll probably just put a link to it in the description.
Yeah, that's actually probably a good
Oh,
idea. Anyhow, the next sequence that we have with Twister, it happens in chapter 58, and this one got a lot more dark than the previous one. I mean, the previous one creeped me out. I actually didn't know what it was referencing at the time, so honestly,
Still
thinking
creepy.
back, I probably would have been less creeped out by it, but this one pulls from The Dark Knight Joker. For anyone who is familiar with the Christopher Nolan Batman films.
Pretty
And
sure.
here,
No, I'm sorry. I was reading something. Go on. I'm sorry.
oh no, it's fine. Here's the big main points about this. Sorry, lost my place here.
It's fine.
Is how he views insanity, how he views his lunacy,
His own self-reflection.
how
Yeah,
he
basically.
views himself, which is honestly very interesting. Let's see.
All right.
There's a good quote here that explains it.
We're gonna be reading it, so
Oh, are we going to be reading the whole thing?
Well, I would just go. I personally would just, if you could just summarize it, the
Yeah.
important bits.
I'll read it.
See,
I-
that's what I'm thinking. Honestly, is if we read the whole thing, we're going to be here all night. So
Yeah, just summarize
Yeah.
the important bits.
yeah.
Wish I could have got here sooner. We could have done a longer prep call.
Yeah.
Oh well, I
It's
mean,
all right.
it's a Twister podcast, so it's supposed to be random and unpredictable and look like a shambled
Yeah.
mess.
Yep.
Yeah.
mission
Fair enough.
accomplished.
Yep.
But-
Good job, Com.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay.
You wanna try this one, Jim, or like, can I have a go?
Can I have a go?
If you want.
Yeah, go for it, Dragon.
Honestly, I think we should, in the interest of time, so this
I'm gonna
isn't like
start
I was
Two
just gonna
hours.
do
about
the,
halfway
dialogue.
through when right before Twister, like once we get into like the real Dark Knight reference, the I can be weird, I can be strange, I can be silly, and no pony bats and I. That part, that's where I'm gonna start, in the interest of time.
which line are you going to be starting from?
You see that's who I am. Twister began as he took his eyes off the knife, but continued passing it. I could do anything, literally anything I want. That part.
Yeah, that actually is pretty much one of the most important things to take away from that.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. You see, it's who I am. Twister began as he took his eyes off the knife, but continued passing it. I could do anything, literally anything I want. I can be weird, I can be strange, I can be silly, and no pony ever bats an eye. They're used to it. They know it's all part of who I am. And to them, he grabbed the knife out of the air and turned it so the tip of the blade was facing down directly at Dash's chest. He tensed up and his pupil shrank as he eyed the knife. But if any pony else were to do the things that I do, then every pony freaks out, he yelled as he plunged his hoof down. Ah!
All right.
Dash,
So, the important thing to really take away from this sequence is he fully acknowledges his insanity, and he actually considers it to be one of his strengths. We'll see more of that in the next one, but this is the first hint that we got that he was.
Yeah, and this also becomes a reference point in comparing another character's crazy. So, do you want to discuss Druid that much?
Honestly, I think we'll save that for the end.
All right.
So let's move on to chapter 67, which is the Hannibal Lecter reference.
oh boy.
I remember that one. That one was great.
60
Oh.
what again?
67.
All right.
So,
Who can do a good Hannibal Lecter?
Hello.
Hello, Clarice.
how nice of you to come to see me.
Got you, Clarice.
But anyways, so honestly, there is probably one line here that really, really stands out. Okay. Gosh, I should have had this highlighted. Sorry.
It's alright. At least you didn't say like 4 times in a row.
I think it was 5 times on your record.
Wait, I did that? I didn't even notice. When did I do that?
Here it is.
Okay.
Imagination, Dash, is all that I had instead of reason. The world is unkind to me. It has rejected me time and time again. Imagination is all that keeps me alive. I can't have the world as it is, so my mind changes. I make it my world with my rules, and I can do whatever I please. To me, all ponies are transparent. All I have to do is watch them, and I can figure out everything. Absolutely everything. Honestly, I think this particular line, it provides one of the greatest windows into Twister's psyche that we've had thus far.
When you were reading that, and like when I was thinking back to reading that, like both times when you were rereading it, when I was thinking back to rereading it, it just kind of gave me a weird, odd, cold, clammy feeling. Just like a very cold, sinking feeling. It's very odd feeling. Like I feel like, I mean, Dash
Someone
must have
looking
felt
straight through you.
Yeah, Dash must have felt very naked around Twister.
You know, for someone who sees the world a lot that way, for me, it's like, oh, just has it a better.
Yeah, the paragraph here is Dash swallowed. She wasn't intimidated. That would be the wrong word. She wasn't scared. She had no reason to be. She was doing this voluntarily. But even though Twister had kept his hooves off for this time, she felt more vulnerable than she had any of his previous acts. She didn't like it. She wasn't going to let him win. How was that?
That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. But yeah. Anyhow, one of the big things that Twister did this chapter, and honestly, it's kind of interesting that Calm chose this reference in particular, but I'll get into that more later. Is how Twister was able to read Dash like an open book. instantly look at her and describe her her desires, her fears, her um, struggles, basically play her entire life back to her in just a few short paragraphs.
Let me tell you what
Indeed.
you are, Dash, and who you've been. Cloudsdale born and raised. From a young age, you've dreamed of being the best. The best at what? You didn't even know. You just wanted to be the best at everything. You got into fights and scuffles. You were bullied for being the little rainbow that thought she was a thunderstorm. You had your accomplishments, yes, but they came from within the wake of many errors and failures, crashes and bruises that made the victories sweet. But were they worth the pain? You always talked tough, but when your chances came to prove yourself, you folded, curled up like a little foal and shivered, hoping it would all take care of itself. There's something that's something you've never overcome, is it? No, the nerves never truly die, do they? But you hid them beneath your acts of earnestness and bravery, which you actively looked for and sometimes created yourself in hopes that no one would suspect you were actually afraid of many things. Oh, sure, you found your coupling. You wanted to be wonderful, as we all do. But even then, you were afraid. Seeing them up close for the first time must have been such an eye-opening experience. It's rough to see just how weak you are with your own eyes to experience, possibly first tough, what they are capable of and the kind of threats they face. Are you really prepared to fight against anything? Could you make the choice on your own without encouragement? Could you face something that truly terrifies you? Given your history, I don't know if you could.
All right, thank you, Animak.
I'm going to be hearing that voice in my nightmares tonight, so thanks for that.
You sure? I thought it might have been suckish.
It was pretty good. All right,
Yeah.
so we're at
We'll
chapter
follow
67
Zero
right now.
Hour.
Oh, the shipping wars.
Oh boy.
I think that was just calm, just it
Being
was just
insane.
yeah, and just like poking fun at like how crazy, just people in their shipping are.
Fandom
Yeah,
are.
just the fandom. I'm gonna get a bit
Oh.
off topic here, just a wee bit off topic, just about the whole shipping thing. I don't know if you guys go on Derpy Boru, but Sordash is always like a huge magnet for just drama in the comments, and
Yeah.
especially when Quibble Dash arrived on the scene.
Like, I'm complete weeb trash, so I watch Attack on Titan and ship characters from Attack on Titan.
Oh my
and,
man, you are after my own heart.
And I tell
Oh,
people that
weeb
say, "Oh
trash.
man, I hate shipping wars." I tell them, "You don't know shipping wars. Join the Attack on Titan fandom and choose a side."
Dude,
That is a
oh
true
my
shipping
god, yeah,
People
no.
say I'm from Attack on Titan because my name is Aaron. They're like, oh, you're from that show. I'm like,
Hey.
Uh,
But yeah, the drama with Quibble Dash, I think, is like the worst I've ever, like, well, within recent memory, is with the whole shipping wars thing. It's just really just
Quibble Dash, Soarin Dash. It's this huge battle. It's like, which one do I like better? But although, Quibble Dash.
Then all the
was the only way-
Zephydash and then all like the Zephydash shippers are just like, "Look at you guys."
yeah, that one's least likely. I mean, if I
Yeah.
were to ship anything, and I'm about to seek sacrilege here, my second Dash shipping would probably be with Quibble, but like see them more as like a nerdy best friend. Anyways,
Yeah, they have a
But-
similar fandom, but they don't work together. With Soarin Dash, they're working together. They know
Yeah.
how each other think. They know how each other work.
plus
As time goes forward, but I can see it working.
plus like the whole flying thing. I mean, Dash like loves flying, so I'd probably assume that she loves flying first and then daring do second in terms of like
Yeah.
favorite activities. Anyways, that was my little off-topic thing. I'm sorry, Jim.
oh no, don't worry about it.
All right, so
Yeah, shipping wars are brutal. And
Oh my god, yeah.
I just love Twister just going, hey, stop the headget, stop the, oh, don't do it again, no!
No, not flashlight. Oh, come on.
Anything but that.
Because
Oh,
Chance.
I remember when he made that and flashlight was still like a controversial thing. Oh god.
You know, it still is.
Really? Are people still
One of my books, and I've had. Oh my goodness! When people come across it, it's completely
people
brutal.
still salty about that? I mean,
Yes.
I don't think anybody still like. Are people still salty about the Alicorn Twilight thing? Like most of those people have either left or like don't care anymore. I thought everyone got over it. I haven't really ran into anybody who's still salty about the Alicorn Twilight thing, but I thought like the flashlight thing was like the most recent thing people got over, and I thought it was gonna be like the new Equestria Girls movie.
Comment on one of my books just last month, where someone chewed me out for even bringing him into the book.
It's like, how dare you!
Hey, Captain, I needed a
Blasphemy
guard.
against the Church
He
of
has a
Equestria.
name.
Better than making up a random OC and then giving him like an extensive backstory. Like it's already there, so. Alright. Anyway.
But anyway, chapter 78 is where Twister's random scenes break from their usual pattern. This one honestly has a very upbeat tone to it.
Mhm.
But honestly, I think some of the darkest information is given here.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this section I do have highlighted. So
Alright, I'm really interested to hear this because I
have the chapter up and I'm looking through the scenes.
A lot of people might have missed it because of all the silliness going on.
I'm one of them. I'm very curious
in the
now.
foreground, but
lay it on me, Jim.
here's the first line that indicates that something more was wrong.
Oh God.
Story of my life. I try to lead things my own way, but others come after me. I go one direction, but they tell me I'm wrong. Oh, you've heard this from me already. But what if I told you I was hunted? Some saw me as an abomination and wanted to contain me. They saw my behavior as a blight and wanted to lock me away. Oh, they never understood.
Yeah, I never noticed that.
I remember that, but like I didn't really pay much attention to it. Now that I think about it,
a lot
crap.
of people didn't. A lot of people didn't.
And I'm back.
I mean, like,
didn't even realize
it might be because of just how quickly it's dismissed by Twister.
Yeah, just how quickly he snaps back to the fantasy. It's jarring, and if you're not paying attention to it, it slips right by.
It reminds me, now that you brought up Attack on Titan, it reminds me, have you just watched the show, or do you actually read the source material of the manga?
I do read the manga, but I haven't been able to get to the last 2 issues, I think.
Oh, well, I'm talking about way back where, I mean, if any of you don't want to hear spoilers, like, I'll stop right now, but...
this is probably not the best place to...
Alright, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, probably. You're right.
But there are...
one other listener out there that watches Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
But
there are actually...
I'm back.
Two more sequences
yeah, we can hear
you.
where Twister breaks away from the absolutely ridiculous background filler almost, and provides a much darker look into what happened to him.
It just that, like, while all the silliness was going on, he just kind of delivered that information in a very casual way to where, like, you had to do a double take. Like,
Yeah,
just like... just like mention this important information. And, like, okay, we're moving on.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at presently? Like I had
We're
to do.
still at Shipping Wars.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
at chapter 78. But yeah, the second sequence, he's talking about, but can you rely on friends? One would think so, but every pony that I called a friend turned me away. I had nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. I tried for them. I really did. But no matter what I attempted, I was scowled at, scorned, and eventually no pony could take it anymore. The only true friend I had was the love of my life, who had long left me behind. With nowhere else to go, I frantically looked for her. She would know. She would understand. She had to. She must. She could talk sense into the others, right? I was only being myself after all. I purposely didn't do a voice there because
I seriously think that if Twister were to have his own solo, like if Calm were to do like a own story about Twister, and it was like more in detail about explaining what happened to him, like it definitely have the tragedy tag.
Oh yeah.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
just hearing you say that just makes me feel really sorry for him and sad.
But
Oh my God.
Twister's
Well-
past seems like the Time Lord. It's like something that's best left to the imagination.
Well,
True.
it gets worse.
Oh God.
Because the third
Oh,
and
God.
final cutaway, right before the end,
Go on.
drama and waking up. You can say that's how things went when I finally found her again. Oh yes, I did find her, the love of my life. After so long, I found the only mare who I had ever loved, and the only pony who ever liked me for who I was. But Twister's eyes narrowed into a glare. But she was in love with some pony else, another stallion. And I guess you can say that was when I truly snapped. Dash froze as Twister's voice became filled with a mixture of pain, anger, and hatred. She had never heard that tone from him before.
Now I'm just gonna say,
I have chills.
does anybody else get like kind of a Count of Monte Cristo vibe from this? If
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
I haven't read or seen
No.
that.
It does.
Never saw that.
I have, and I'm kind
I
of
have
getting
yet to see
vibes
that.
from that. Like, I'll explain more where I'm coming from when we get to the theory thing, but now that it's like kind of Jim's helping me remember, and then like bringing light to other stuff, I kind of just came up with my own little theory, but it's kind of a combination of
I can
everything.
see that. I can actually see that from the whole Monte Cristo thing. Yeah, now that you mention it, it does pretty much fit.
Alright.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
And this basically leads right into chapter 103. Honestly, I have it marked down here in the outline.
I
Most
see it.
important here. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Get to it, Jim. I really want to hear what you guys say, because now you got my
So-
wheels turning.
To summarize the entire first part of the chapter, it's basically a summary of the previous 4 chapters.
Which, when I read that earlier, I was kind of like thanking myself, or not thanking thanking Calm that he did this, because I mean, Twister says it later on in the chapter. He's like, "Oh, thank God we had this chapter, because who else could remember 103 chapters of me doing all this stuff and dropping hints?" Which I'm like, "Oh my God, you meta buff
Well,
bro."
I saw that like broke the
Um,
fourth wall again. It's shattered. It's destroyed.
Yeah. I actually had to create this Word document in order to remember that.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've got the chapter up right now, and I'm just like scrolling through it, looking for it.
But yeah, basically, one interesting point that is brought up in the
in the chapter?
Actually, in this outline,
In the outline, okay.
Is how he places his trust in two ponies now. But honestly, I think that pales in comparison to the next part. But anyways, so he basically goes through all four of the previous bits of information with Soaring.
If anything, that really creeped me. I was like, poor Soarin.
Yeah, and not to mention the picture of Twister flipping the table and then Soarin. Like, Dash is just like, alright, come on, wrap up the show. And Soarin's just like looking at it, just like, what is going on?
I think like Soarin was just broke after that day.
Pretty sure he's been broke for a long time, but that just kind of added
Reading
to
session scheduled for no pants o'clock. Alrighty. Look at the time. It's no pants o'clock. I wanted this. Got it. Okay, I found it.
Okay.
Whenever
Actually,
I look at the picture,
where I'm going to be reading is much, much, much later.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking through it. Like, is that when he's talking directly to Soarin, or?
It is. You can basically start right at the shipping war.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit after, isn't it? No?
Yeah, it's a little bit after that section.
Okie dokie. Alright, I'm there. Lay it on me, Jim, or Animak. Because you guys...
Anyway. Pay attention. You can rethink your life later. All the shipping wars aside, what Dashi here learned during my little joint dream effort was that I have encountered the love of my life again. In fact, she had been there all along, where I couldn't touch her. But it was not a happy encounter. And I was, so sad to learn that she had found love elsewhere. It was crazy. I was shunned. I was hunted. And the only hope I clung to was that I'd have her. And she'd understand. She'd protect me. She'd love me. She'd make them all understand. And yes, somebody else. Somebody else. Somebody else. Had somebody else. This was new, even to Dash. When Twister revealed this info to her in the Goofy dream, he remained goofy, even talking about how it made him snap, but it ended there. He didn't elaborate on it. Here, his demeanor was something completely different. Broken. Now, skipping ahead a little bit more. It's so perfect. She deserves everything. And I could have given her everything. She went for another. He was nothing. Nothing compared to me. He had no imagination. He was bland. He was one-track minded. He was apparently what she wanted. Which stung. It stung deep. Stabbed at my very heart. For all the time she had told me she loved my crazy, unpredictable nature in the past, she went for somebody who was normal. Did she lie to me? Was it just sympathy? Did she lead me on beyond her own tricks? It didn't matter. Not anymore. I saw what I had to see. I saw that she had chosen another over me. The one chance I felt I had at being understood, loved, gone, out of my reach forever. I was not him, and never could be. Oh, what I would do, what I would give to feel that way again. Even if it was just for her to know how I care. To know that though her eyes are elsewhere, I'm still here. I would do anything. So now,
Not done yet.
now do you understand? Even just a little? What I've been through. It's enough to knock any number of screws loose. And I embrace it. I don't chase it away. My flaws define me. They always have. And don't I just look absolutely happy with myself? If you don't acknowledge your flaws, you don't learn from them. If you avoid what has helped you define you, then how can anybody else truly understand you? Don't look so disturbed. You should be happy some pony knows all about you. Every pony should feel great about that because it's not like I have any pony myself. At least not anymore. But you two, perhaps you two are capable. This was a fun conversation. Let's do it again.
Nice.
That was
You're
excellent.
scaring the crap out of everyone.
I'll hide under my blankets tonight.
Now I'm getting even more of like that vibe, like semi Mount or Count of Monte Cristo. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, so yeah,
anyway.
continue on, Jim. Jesus. It was great.
So, honestly, I think these 5 scenes are the most important to understanding Twister as a character. Especially that last one. That last monologue. That is Twister. That is the Twister underneath all of the shenanigans, the silliness, the pillows from nothing, the bathing in fire,
the reality
transforming
bending.
fruits, the
Disappearing and reappearing from Matteo's feathers.
oh yeah, and just disappearing, reappearing in general.
No eating?
No
How did he
eating.
get the oranges? Where did he get the oranges?
Riding my
I don't want to know where he keeps them.
Yeah. So we do have
I
characters
divided by
that
all the zeros.
we do have a character that also is able to pull objects seemingly out of nowhere, and that's Pinkie Pie.
And Surprise, apparently.
Yeah, and
But
surprise.
we haven't seen
Yeah,
her do
and-
that much. Like, we had a
And
scene.
Surprise, which
With her and Pinky, we had a scene of them trying to mirror each other. But
That was funny.
oh yeah,
That was funny.
I legitimately
Yep.
thought the world was going to end at that scene. Just stories over it, the world just melted.
And then surprise and Twister got Silver pulled those two to fight each other. That was horrible. That was horrible. Who let them fight each other? Silver.
but anyways. So, I think probably the only other significant fact that we've gotten about Twister is that Luna is unable to see Twister's aura. And an aura is
Like the
something
life
that
force.
every pony that Luna and Celestia has encountered,
Has an aura.
yeah, except for Twister. And
Which
so
begs
this,
the question: is he really there? Is he there at all, or is he just a ghost?
actually, Cowgirl, you are getting right into the meat of my own personal theory.
Well,
So, anyways,
Welcome to the bulk of the podcast, everyone. Jim's theories.
well, I mean, yeah, we're right there. But should we just go in order, or should we just let's go in order of the document? Let's try to tackle the.
yeah.
Yeah. So the theories regarding Twister's relation to I can never say this right. Cain Ost.
I say Can Oust.
Cain Oust. Cain Ost.
Can Oust.
So
Tyler
either.
West.
Yeah. What? No.
But-
So.
So the present theory of discussion is that, like, the Twister is actually the main antagonist of the story and of like the past few stories.
Or is he
general,
like? Or is he an
like-
agent for Cain? Ost. I can't talk.
No one can.
Regarding
I
that
was,
theory,
well.
I think it'd make more sense that Twister is either an agent, or maybe because this character or entity or group or whatever it is supplying the shadow bolts with the crystals. So who knows, like, what other types of magic he might have. He might not be a ghost, but he might be, how do I put this? Like an artificial life form.
So you're
Like a
saying
puppet.
Twister's a hologram.
Like a hologram or something like that. Yeah, his whole purpose was just made to go and spy on the Wonderbolts because Soarin has that important magic and
Calm's version of the Moonlight Butterfly.
pretty much, yeah.
So,
Those are my 2 cents on that theory. Anybody else got anything to add?
I really don't think he is a relation to Kyanos.
Yeah.
But
Bless
now,
you.
don't.
Is that just a gut feeling, or
Gut feeling.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to like disprove the
Just-
theory, go
I
ahead.
cannot explain.
well,
Can't explain.
First of all, I'm highly intuitive, so I can't always tell you the way my brain works.
Oh.
I can do algebra problems in my head, but I can't tell you how I did it.
Oh
Neat.
boy.
I
Oh.
can't do
Could have
algebra
used
problems
you
at
for
all.
my math lab partner. Holy crap.
Never done algebra.
Algebra's awful, and I barely passed. I was awful at it.
so, anyways, this kind of leads into the alternate theory.
And I still have some thoughts on that.
Oh,
Like,
Cain Ost.
the Can Oust theory, like, it's
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
presently mostly just speculation. Like, at this point, there's like no, like, it's all potential circumstance and speculation for that theory. Like based on the circumstantial stuff of the Twister doing his stuff and his crazy. Like, if he were, like, there's presently no motive.
Bless
like
you
on
again.
Twister's part. Whilst for Karen Ost, we have a relatively clear motive, courtesy of the shadow bolts, that they want Soarin and Dash to some ends, like, and they want the Wonder Bolts gone, like, presumably to eliminate a potential threat. And like, that about it, Jim, for that.
If you don't got any more to
See,
say about it.
That could be possible, but honestly, I'm actually more of a fan of the next theory that we're going to discuss.
Yeah,
Um,
was like more potentially likely. You want to lead into that? Sorry.
Yeah, actually, because of a number of very interesting parallels, which actually kind of ties into another set of theories. I'm sure by now everybody is aware of the blue and yellow magic and how Discord has,
Feels about them.
yeah,
Yeah.
how he's been in between there. It was actually something that I noticed very early on, back during chapter 42, when I was doing my analysis. The mare that Twister describes, as far as characters that we know in the canon, there's only one that I can possibly think of that matches that description, and that would be Princess Celestia herself.
Yes.
I did. I remember seeing a comment.
Oh,
Were you
wow.
the one that typed that?
You know, probably.
Because I
Probably.
remember seeing a comment going into the detail about it, and I was like, oh, that's actually might work. I mean, like maybe like Twister was like a commoner dating a princess. I would think that like there's like noblemen, and this is where like my Count of Monte Cristo thing comes in, and like maybe the noblemen were like, okay, we have this crazy commoner pony who's literally crazy, doing all sorts of stuff with the princess, and it's gonna make the princess look bad, so we're just gonna help her out and nudge, like they do something to Twister. They maybe frame him for a crime like they did in the
That
Count of Monte
begs the
Cristo.
question: how old is Twister?
We may find out. Only the evil, conniving blue buff pony knows. Oh, like he
Yeah.
isn't rubbing his
Very
hands together.
possibly, Twister could be thousands of years old.
Oh,
Actually, I was just about to go into
If
that.
Twister is Discord's son.
oh God.
Or-
Well, wait, no, yeah, they've
Oh,
never
no.
been in a scene together or anywhere near each other. Actually, have they?
So far, no, they have not.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's all-
actually
The theory before that one is that you got this, Jim.
You got it.
okay. So one of the very early theories, it was probably proposed back during chapter. I want to say it was chapter 67.
I think I remember seeing like
Yeah,
it
it
in
was
the
either-
comments.
Yeah, it was either chapter 67 or chapter 78. I actually wanted to find the original text that I used to talk about it, but
Good
couldn't find
job.
it. But anyways, Twister, his story almost mirrors Discord's story and what we know of Celestia and her backstory as described in the Wonderverse. So Twister describes how he was feared, hated, looked down upon, even though all he wanted to do was have fun, be himself. But being himself drove ponies nuts. They told him, look, just knock that off. But he decided to do it anyway. Now, there is only one character I can think of that also has that exact same problem, and it's touched on in the show. That's Discord.
Indeed.
That basically describes Discord to a T.
Pretty
Although
much. I never really
it's-
thought about that.
Twister is
Yeah.
Discord's son. First of all,
You-
why hasn't Discord talked to Twister? Probably
Maybe
because he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Well, the present theory is that like Twister is actually Discord in a disguise or incarnation, or he's like a son or something, or it could be potentially it could be like a
But
yeah, have
Discord
y'all
seemed
seen Red versus
surprised
Blue?
when Dash walked around the corner and said, "Oh, for love of, I don't need any more randomness. I'm out of here."
Have y'all seen Red versus Blue? Like the Discord could have a similar situation that the Alpha Fragment had. That
Like it's a part of like Discord's like soul like split off and then became Twister.
he's a fragment of some sort. Yeah.
Well, I mean, now that we're talking about like Discord or like Discord possibly having a son and that being Twister, maybe Discord doesn't even know because remember when the yellow magic got into Dash and Soarin and Dash were having their moment, Discord seemed really jealous. Maybe Discord and Celestia were in a relationship and maybe Discord turned and then when they turned Discord to stone, maybe Celestia found out she was pregnant and once again that brings up how old is I don't know. It's a lot of stuff.
That might
going
also
on.
explain why when Soarin's talking about what happened when they were breaking him out and the Gill magic basically becomes its own entity outside of Soarin, why Discord just kind of just rose and just left.
Actually, I was about to address all of that.
Go for it. You are the Twister expert.
So
If there is
back
such a
in
thing.
chapter
Jim has the title. I'll make it a thing.
chapter 103. This is one of the reasons why I said that is one of the most important chapters we've had so far. Is because of that monologue.
Yeah.
When he's describing the other pony that his true love fell in love with.
A person with a single direction in mind, like talk
he
about
had-
it like a, yeah, like a describe, yeah, like a, yeah, like the single mind and the normal bit, like it was like connecting things in my head with the present theories of the blue magic and such, and what we know of that.
Yep, that is exactly what I was going to bring up. Is he had no imagination. He was bland. He was one-track minded.
Drives Moon pretty well too.
You can describe it anyone.
Well, a squall.
Well, in particular, it's significant because it describes what we know of Sombra. And
He was so bent on becoming immortal, just like Celestia, like just that one whole.
We only presume that the blue magic is Sunra. We have there's presently no solid evidence.
From the show, we already know that Sombra wanted to become immortal like the Alicorns.
And also, if you go back to when
He just wanted
Celestia was
power.
proposing this. Also, if you go back to when Celestia was proposing this idea back in, I think it was Head in the Clouds, the end of that, she explains that it was magic originally used by Sombra. So if she is channeling a spell used by Sombra, it would make kind of sense that
She'd be using
part of Sombra.
That spell on Sombra, or that spell is Sombra, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I can
show,
actually comment on this part. Actually, thanks to Witching Hour, she noticed back in Head in the Clouds that when the magic was first cast, it basically resembled her eyes glowed blue, basically like when Soarin's eyes go blue when
No,
the,
it glowed
blue
green. It glowed green.
Did it glow
Then
green?
blue.
Green
It
then
went
blue?
green first.
I think that's what it.
Yellow, green, blue.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
They really
Now,
need to be read
Umbra's
this
eyes
book.
there's
did?
there's only one character that I can think of that has bright green eyes that glow like that.
Sombra?
Yep.
I thought I thought it glowed green because it was combining with the yellow magic, and when you combine yellow and blue, you get green. At least I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Except for when
Yes,
you're dealing
you
with yellow and blue light, and then I'll have to look it back up because it's slightly different. Pigment and light are two totally different monsters.
Can I just say something?
Go for it.
Sure.
Alicorns aren't immortal, and it's been shown quite a few times in Piercing the Heavens. They
Well,
are ageless. They
Well-
don't die of old age, but they can be killed.
Well, they're
Oh, yeah.
immortal in that
Well,
regard.
Biologically immortal, like
they're unaffected by the passage of time, and that's what I believe Sombra was after.
Because him and Celestia were lovers, and he realized,
Yeah,
okay,
that-
well, she's immortal, and I'm going to die soon, so I'm going to do whatever I can to spend the rest of eternity with her.
Yeah, but that gets into a whole nother theory. So
Yeah,
to simplify it, we'll assume that yellow is Celestia and blue is
Sombra. Until further evidence proves otherwise. But right now, Calm is just...
who's the
Whoever the blue is did
Some-
face blessed to the yellow.
In one dream sequence, I think it was the last one, Celestia, because the one before it, he called her Celeste. She says, Sombra, I always loved you.
I
He
don't
has confirmed.
Really?
I
He
don't
did.
think
It's
I don't
Sombra.
think he actually said
He
Sombra.
said Sombra.
Are you sure?
Positive. 'Cause I
we
read
can
that chapter a million times.
we can review that at a later.
Yeah, we'll review that in a later day.
That's a totally different theory. But
Yeah.
if you are correct about that, that basically just solidifies everything that I've got. So
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Sombra is presently the prime suspect of the blue magic. After that, it's Star Swirl and who else?
I've heard the Star Swirl theory, but like that's a lesser known one. I don't know if there's any third candidates.
yeah, I don't think there are a lot of other candidates besides Sombra at this point, especially not now after recent chapters. But anyways, to continue with the theory about Discord. Basically, Discord's reaction to the blue and yellow magic directly parallel Twister's reaction to the mare he loved and the stallion that stole her heart.
Yeah.
It's an absolute direct parallel. And combine that with all the other direct parallels we have between those two characters, it looks pretty solid. Plus the fact that he has no aura. It's
Would this bring now? I might go a bit off, but since if this theory turns out to be true, that he somehow lives that long, do you guys think Twister would become a threat to the blue magic and Soarin later on out of jealousy?
well,
I don't think so.
He treats Rainbow more as a friend and someone like who he feels he can trust. He doesn't seem to have shown a love interest. Like he's like
Well,
staying
not-
out of that.
Not like jealous, but like maybe he doesn't quite know what the blue magic is yet, even for Twister, and maybe he finds out that the blue magic is Sombra, and if Jim's theory is correct in relation to that, maybe like he'll try to do something to Soarin if the magic's still in him, or maybe if the magic something happens to the magic and it gets outside of Soarin, maybe Twister will not think right, like do something rash and become a threat to the group.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
or
very
Soarin.
likely possibility.
Well,
Although-
here's-
Well, we haven't seen that much. We haven't seen that from Twister, but we have seen Discord,
Yeah, very.
doing open threats like that. Like he's been more open, like about potentially
Killing
dealing
Soarin.
with Soarin.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, I mean, Twister seems to hate the stallion, so I assume Twister, if he were to see the stallion, let's just
Would
say
snap.
he'd wake up in a basement filled with chains.
well,
Like, just
here is. Oh, sorry.
everywhere.
Uh,
I'm sorry, I was trying to describe
Oh, no.
the scene, but I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm going for.
yeah.
He'd be
Yeah.
trapped
Is-
big time.
I'm
Here's
just
the
imagining
big-
Saw right now.
Yeah. You want to play a
So
game?
that was the original theory that I came up with after 103. Well, actually no, slightly before 103. It didn't have all the pieces in it yet, but that's basically what I had there.
I can just
I
imagine.
hit a little
Colin
bit of a
listening.
snag in 103.
Really?
It's actually the sequence immediately following Twister's little review session. Actually, Cowgirl, you brought it up.
Yeah, the way
Yes.
that Discord reacted to when Dash stated.
Yeah. Discord was completely and honestly and utterly baffled by the reaction.
Oh. Oh yeah.
That's a big hole there if Twister and Discord are one and the same. However, there's a workaround for this. If we remember that Discord is able to create puppets, like the puppet of Spitfire or the puppet of Dash back during
It
Yeah,
was-
during the scene, I think it was chapter 15. if I
Yeah.
remember right. Because I just read it the other day. It's one of my favorites.
That's a long
Yep.
time
For
ago.
that
Oh
particular
jeez.
difference.
So, keeping that in mind, what if Discord, whether knowingly or unknowingly, is projecting one of these puppets
Into
that basically
Into
has
reality.
his memories, his personality?
and some of his
basically his-
reality bending power.
Yeah. Basically, what if he's projecting Twister? What if he is an aspect of Discord?
Yeah. I don't know.
And at that point, everything seems to make sense.
If it is,
If this theory is at all valid, that is where it makes sense. Is if Discord is unintentionally projecting Twister.
It's interesting.
this
A
is like
few,
the
a few
most
thoughts come to
interesting.
mind. What? I was just like listening to y'all thinking. What was when
Oh,
Discord
We just lost
was
Cowgirl. Oh boy. Keep going.
What?
We lost.
When
We just lost Cowgirl.
when Discord took the form of the pony to trap Tirek, what was his cutie mark?
I don't know.
I haven't
Tornado.
Oh yeah.
And so, the thought is, I'm thinking, Twister's cutie mark is that of a tornado with trees in it. I'm just, here wondering, could that potentially mean something towards the Tree of Harmony?
Maybe.
Who knows?
I want to say that Jim, I want to say that Jim is definitely Jim's theory. I really wasn't, sold on the Discord thing related to Twister. But now, like, that's probably up there with, like, my thing about Twister's past. Like, now that's definitely up there.
It's really a heck of a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, like, oh my god, it makes sense. It's just, oh god, my mind has been blown. Need that.
It's
I need
Yeah,
that Tim and
thank-
Eric gif.
but anyways,
Oh, we lost
Okay.
Dragon? Why are we losing people left and right?
We only lost 2 people. It'd probably take a third for confirmation.
Something's happening. I'm sorry.
that's
All right,
it'll be all right.
Let's finish this up before Skype claims a third victim.
But yeah, anyhow, yeah, there's a whole bunch of other little things that honestly I haven't even completely pieced them all together yet. At least not into a coherent form. But honestly, that theory I feel is the strongest working theory that I have right now. And honestly, it fits with so many different things from so many different angles. Unless Calm throws one hell of a curveball. Because honestly, Twister has been in situations where no normal pony,
Yeah.
I don't care how much reality bending you had, you would be dead.
Yeah, especially his thing with rapid fire. I'm pretty sure rapid fire wouldn't be so easy as to lit. Or not rapid fire. Wait, is it rapid?
Ruin.
Ruin. Okay.
Yeah,
Ruin.
like it was a
Pretty sure he
it was
wouldn't
a
let any.
contrast and combat of like 2 different crazies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of nihilism, and thus indulging in self-hedonism, like in hedonism, and the self-acceptance and
Oh,
Okay.
and we lost
What about-
Cowgirl, and we were gonna get to the lost love thing, and she was gonna explain her OC.
maybe
Oh,
she'll pop back in.
oh, bugger. Oh, well, I mean,
So,
to my thing about the Count of Monte Cristo, it may not involve Celestia if Twister isn't 1,000+ years old. Then again,
Yeah.
maybe he has like a reincarnation thing going on. Like maybe he gets memories at like he's born with the memories of his past lives, and maybe in his so maybe and roll with me here. So maybe it did turn out like he fell in love with somebody, but then he was just so he wasn't supposed to. It was like a class thing. So maybe this ties in with the being 1,000-year-old thing, but maybe he couldn't date this person if it's not Celestia. So he got driven off, and each of the times he got reincarnated, he'd like slowly go more crazy and be more quirky and stuff. And then each time that happened, and then maybe they wouldn't be able to find each other before they died, but maybe like the last time they met, that's when Twister's love fell in love with another stallion, and that's like when he snapped and just got crazy. And maybe that also has to do with like why his aura isn't there. Maybe the possibility of reincarnation, or maybe like just because he's so crazy and can do all that stuff, maybe it has something to do with him utilizing his aura. Maybe he can learn how to maybe he's learned how to suppress it and utilize it.
perhaps.
I just kind of went on 2 different theories, but
Like I knew.
yeah.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Had another thought where like some strings connected. Like how old is like from what he looks like? How old does it look like? How old is Twister presumably from what we know he looks like?
I'd say he's probably
Around
around Dash's
22.
age. Yeah, like around 22 or 23.
Yeah, and so bear with me here. Like this idea is that like we know in Calm Story, Discord had had a brief moment in time where he
She's
Cowgirl's back.
back. All right, good.
Okay.
Sorry, my mom suddenly just turned off the router without warning me.
Oh, that's.
Ah,
I've been there. Don't worry. At least.
That's bugger.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We are having router problems anyways that probably croaked and, she had to turn it off and reset it. But that meant we had to reset all the extenders as well.
so
I'm back.
All right. Well,
Bugger.
we were
Okay.
we were just
So,
delving into the Twister's lost love.
Yeah, and
yeah.
so,
So-
so where I was, like we know that Discord had a brief time outside of Stone during the Griffin Drake War, and
What
so
if-
it could have been.
At that point in time, that's when Twister was,
That's
he
when
was
he
loose.
could have.
Created.
That could have.
Twister.
Twister could have been created as a
And if so,
as,
I'm-
part of Discord.
his
being
main
possible
color
to-
is dark blue. Who else do we know is dark blue? Blizzard.
Oh yeah.
Creepy thought.
Wait.
But what if he's Blizzard and Discord?
Twister is green.
Ew.
Well, my
Yeah.
thought was,
Anything you want.
That's gross.
I was just leaning towards Twister being like a remnant of Discord left over from when they turned him back to stone during the Griffin Drake War, but since Celestia or whomever turned him back to stone wasn't proper bearers,
Actually, what Discord did is he turned himself back to stone once Blizzard died.
Yeah, because he was just overwhelmed with. I wouldn't say grief. Well, maybe grief. I can't really remember.
He was so upset that
Blizzard.
someone beat him.
Yeah.
It's that he was never able to win against Blizzard.
Ah.
Blizzard died before Discord had that chance.
And remember,
well,
Silver wasn't always with Blizzard when instances cropped up.
Yeah.
So who knows whether Blizzard got, or what if somebody else among the Wonderbolts?
So when you said when Blizzard and Blizzard or Twister might be somehow related to both Discord and Blizzard, I thought of that scene from Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's where I can't remember what episode it's from, but it's a Q episode, and Picard wakes up in bed, and he turns over, and then Q's just sitting right there. Why do I think of a scene like
He
that?
does that to Janeway too. Discord does that to Janeway too. He says, "Well, you could have been the mother of this child. All he had to do was go, psst, ooh."
Oh my god! I just see that now. Blizzard just turns over, and he's just like, just.
Well-
Discord's just laying right there, and he goes like, "Oh, we had such a fantastic night." Oh my god!
What if all that happened was Blizzard flipped his tail and it touched Discord?
Yeah, and then Discord's belly
Can
just
we
gets
keep
huge.
this PG?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a hypothesis of
Instant
What
8
the-
months pregnant.
uh,
You're the
Oh,
father.
Anyways, we've been going at this for nearly 2 hours now. I think
Wait,
I think
We
we
wrap this
haven't.
up?
We've Oh yeah, now okay. So it's a few minutes
Still the
longer
part-
than the first one. Jeez.
well, we still need to talk about what we want to see from Twister and other stuff. I
I'm
think.
pretty sure everybody just wants to know. I mean, I don't think Calm will do it, but I mean, he might, because I've seen people predict stuff and everyone agree, like, oh, that's what we'll do. And then Calm just does a complete 180 of that. I don't think Calm will leave Discord. I don't think Calm will leave Discord, or not Discord, Twister ambiguous. Yeah, I got messed up there. I don't think Twister will leave, or I don't think Calm will leave Twister's past and stuff ambiguous. Like leave it up for the readers to interpret. I think that something will happen.
He's going towards a goal.
Yeah, I think I think something will happen.
Going towards a goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Calm always has a goal in mind.
Yeah.
That is one of the main things that when
Yeah, he
constructing
built up,
any theory.
He
Any
built up,
theory.
he built up Arctic Blast,
Yeah.
like being a bitch, and then like Storm saved her, and then Storm like got the elite spot over Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
Sorry, what you were going, Jim?
Well, here's the thing: for any theory that you construct, as far as piercing the heavens go, one thing you need to keep in mind is that Calm always has a goal. He always has an end game in mind. So the key is figure out what that end game could possibly be.
I figure with Twister, though, that's extremely difficult.
Oh yeah, it took like 110 chapters.
Yeah, but
Something like
I
that.
definitely like don't think Calm will leave like Twister's like ambiguous. I definitely think something will happen, and then that's when all the pieces will fall into place, and everyone will go, "Oh, that's what happened." And then, assuming if Twister's life is such a tragedy, like thousands of comments saying, "I can't hold these feels."
Oh yeah.
Right in the fields.
Right in the feels.
Another potential Twister theory was that like I don't think it's all that pondered. What like Twister being related to Nightshade, like being her son.
Yeah.
Oh God, Nightshade.
Let's hope not.
Nightshade pregnant would be
God.
a terrifying
No,
thought.
oh god.
Get me ice cream now, or I'm gonna skin you alive. I have a craving.
Oh.
One of my friends who reads it, and he doesn't have an account. He's still like a closet brony still, and he says, "What if Twister's from the future?" And he's like, he said it might be somebody's character from the future, and I'm like, why?
Nightshade's son from the future. Yeah, the future. I could see that. I could really see that.
I just want to see you guys beat up my mom.
Isn't Nightshade, what is she, 40, 30?
I want to say she's probably around
49 or 50.
Really?
Yeah.
I could have sworn
No,
that.
no. Hold on.
Wait. I thought they were around the same age as us.
Descent is about 39, so somewhere late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
Wait, Pen knows this. Ask Pen.
Yeah, and like
Is she there? Did she
All right,
leave?
Ken.
with her
What do you
personality, it's likely that Nightshade,
Yeah.
like Nightshade got pregnant.
Anyways, it's
Well, I mean, she's not the first Wonderbolt to secretly sire a child. So I could see it happening. That's
I mean,
just
Shadowbolt.
or Shadowbolt. Yeah. Oh, my brain.
so
Words
I
come out of my
think-
mouth.
I think we've kind of strayed away from
Yeah.
what we were originally talking about. I think probably we've covered everything that we need to as far as Twister goes. So
Yeah.
in the interest of time, I think we should probably wrap up the podcast. If we want to keep talking about other theories,
Yeah, I
we
think.
can keep the call going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Later.
First and foremost, Twister is strange, and he has
Yeah.
a very dark and twisted past. Whoever he is, we have no idea. But we have some general hypotheses, which we have stated in this here podcast. I hope you all enjoyed, and I think it's time for us to wrap it up.
all right. Well,
Everybody say goodbye.
this has been the second Wondercast episode. Everybody, it's been great talking to you again, listeners. I hope you enjoyed. This is Soaring signing off, and our guests, our Twister expert Jim,
Have fun, kiddies.
Silver Skies,
See ya.
our Nightshade enthusiast. Is she there?
Bye.
Animak,
Till next time, everyone.
and Cowgirl.
Till we meet again, partner.
All right. Good night, everybody.